So I think we have our guest already here, our audience. Thank you very much for supporting. That's what I want to tell you first. This is the exclusive Zoom edition of the first episode of the SEASUNSALSA Podcast. A little project that I wanted to do actually for many years, but I wasn't feeling ready. So now with all the corona grounding us and basically with a lot of time on our hands, it would be, I would need a very big excuse to say I didn't have time. Yes, there is some excuses called kids, which we currently have a love-hate relationship, you know. But that's how it goes, I guess. They warned me about it before, so now I know what it means. So basically, after few days and or a week of making ourselves aware that something serious is going on, of course, there was a lot of things happening around the festival and postponing the festival, but watching how the community started to be active and using the online platform in many ways to connect to each other, to reach out and try to get all this together, it made me realize that it might be a time also to contribute with some rather useful content, which we all have time to get through our heads now, listen, participate, or maybe create our own content. So in a way, trying to be creative in the times where time pushes you to be, to move from your spot and either to move forward or kind of stay paralyzed in your place. So that is why I started with this idea of doing the podcast. And why podcast? I think the podcast format gives me what I feel very important, and I was doing through many years through some small initiatives in our salsa community. It gives me opportunity to, hi Trevor, it gives me opportunity to kind of discover, let me just stop the video, to kind of discover and go into details of some subjects into our community, because I find there's a lot of substance and a lot of talks, a lot of stories in our community that do not see light or see light only in the local areas, and are very interested because they do affect and they do show how our community reacts in certain period of time, or how certain individuals create something. And honestly, I'm personally interested to hear those stories and to learn from them. And because I also love podcast as a format, and I also learned a lot of things as like for personal growth and education, I thought I might try to explore the community landscape and invite very interesting persons who I know personally or who I want to know better, to tell us their stories and to tell us their opinions about things that are happening, things that have been happening, things that happened, and things that will happen in our future of our dance community. So without further ado, this podcast is obviously focused on the current crisis, and I want to tell you the story, or present you the speakers who can tell you the stories, how they kind of managed to go through this crisis, and actually what happened before, you know, what we're doing and how it all happened to them, and maybe to tell you send you some message for the future, you know. So I want to learn things from them, and I hope we'll have some interesting discussion in the next 45 minutes to 1 hour. So without further ado, I present you to my friends that I had the pleasure to work with, to hang around with, to get them know, not intimately.
No details.
Intimately enough. So it's a pleasure to have them, and I'll just tell you why in shortly. So I'll start with Dado, because Dado, I know one of the first people that I met international in salsa is Dado. He basically he called me few months before we did our first festival. He just said, look, I'm from Bosnia, I live in Austria, my wife and me are having school in Graz. We are so happy that something is happening in Croatia, we want to help. And that was it, you know. From that it started 15 years old relationship that growth in a way that from a simple dance couple, Dado and Connie have created, I would say, an empire, which is maybe less known to people outside of Austria, but they made a really empire with all the projects they did. Dmitri is the DJ, the bro, the rock star, the party man, who many of you know for his great music. He entertains you during the beach parties, during the day parties, during the socials, during the night evenings. So, and he's there with you on the pre-parties and everywhere. So he's a guy that involves himself with all his knowledge and heart into the community. So, and also has not used, but has really jumped on board when this crisis happened, and has created something really unique. So now you had enough of me, so I'll try to get our guests to speak, because they are here for that. So Dado, can you just shortly introduce yourself to the audience?
Yeah, I'm obviously dancer, teacher, and with my wife Connie, dance school owner in Graz in Austria. We are having two dance school locations in Graz and one dance shoe store with 50 employees, and have been teaching internationally salsa for like 15 years since the first Croatian Salsa Festival. And also on our like side gig is I'm writing a social dancing blog for 5 years, and have been building this online platform with YouTube dance tutorials and obviously articles. And in the last 2 years, we built this online dance learning platform that we're going to talk about later. And yeah, maybe also one interesting thing that aside salsa, we're also trained, and we're also teaching all the other, like almost all the other dance styles, like ballroom, Lindy Hop, West Coast Swing, Argentine Tango. So our nose is in all the other dance communities. So to get this like broader view about the social dancing community in general.
So basically, if I heard good, you are a dancer. You dance, you have dance school, you perform internationally, teach internationally, you have online social academy, your own platform, you have a dance store too,
yeah,
and many other stuff. Okay, so I think you are.
And I have a wife.
He's
dealing with all the stuff that is difficult, and I'm doing podcasts. Ta-da!
You're qualified. So Dmitri, can you say a few words about yourself, and then we go.
Hello, hi. My name is Dimitri. I am originally from Jordan. I moved to Dubai in 2005. I lived there for the past 15 years, and lately I got married, and I moved to Germany here in January. So I have a wife too. Amazing wife.
Wait, I have a wife too. I didn't know we should say this. So.
So I have an engineering background. I'm an electronics and telecom engineer. I worked in the field for around 6 years. Then I switched to real estate after the big economic crisis. And after that, I had to make a choice between passion, DJing, traveling, or keeping my job and my clients. And I said, I want to break out of the system. And for the past 5 years almost, I've been independently living from DJing. I've been DJing since 2008 in parallel with my other jobs, but as a career, as a DJ, so only source of income, it's been since 2015-16.
So,
basically, I'm also been collecting records for the past 10 years as to improve my knowledge about this music, and it helps a lot to understand the culture of this music by collecting the records, reading the labels, and learning about the musicians and the bands. So yes, basically this is what I do.
Yeah, we've been watching your videos with LPs and old records playing, I think already before this Corona crisis. You've been very busy promoting the music. Can I stay with you just as one more personal question regarding, you mentioned that you now live professionally from DJing mostly. So yeah. How this lifestyle, do you like the lifestyle, what it provides you that you've chosen to do it, and can it provide you in the future financially wise too?
Actually, it's a bit challenging because it's not stable. You know, this month you're gonna get some income, some months you know that it's gonna be a bit tight. So it's kind of living on the edge. But since I am getting into more stable lifestyle, getting with a marriage, I'm trying to look into other stuff and to establish a business and try to have more stability with the income. But I love this lifestyle, and I am feeding on it.
Wait, so
traveling and DJing everywhere. This is what I feel I was born to do.
Wait, so it's not true that the DJs are like rock stars in salsa, they earn the most, or that's not true?
Actually, you should know more better than me.
Okay, look, good. Thank you guys for the introduction. So, look, as long as I have you now first here, Dmitri, can you then tell us a little bit about a little bit before the Corona crisis happened, and the time, the moment that it happened, what were you about to do? You were minding your own job, doing whatever you do, and then what happened?
To be honest, we were not really taking it seriously. Like we were, okay, coronavirus, some events are cancelled, but we didn't feel the depth of it because I was already in an event, it was full, and I was playing music. And I was like hearing an event is cancelled, and I was like, I don't think it's gonna reach us because we are okay here. I was in Bratislava, Mambo weekend, and it was great. It was successful. We went back. I went back home in Stuttgart, Germany, and I was like preparing for the next event, which is the next weekend immediately, and in a couple of days we just getting calls and messages that the event is cancelled. And then I started to feel it like this is serious, because I was not doing any plans how to manage myself for the next months, because I was booked for like minimum 3 weekends a month. So I was like guaranteeing my year, how it's gonna go. But now I think there is no work for like another few months, let's say 4 or 5 months. So I'm pretty like trying to keep a strong mindset and survive this period.
So basically your kind of first Corona serious awareness of Corona was getting cancelled for the first for the next festival that you went. That was Timișoara, right?
Yes.
Okay. So Dado, can you explain us your first connection with Corona? I think you and Corona got really good connected.
We're like this, Yeah. We were also 1 week before I got the Corona symptoms. We were also at this was the 1st of March at Eurodance Festival, where we also, like Dmitri said, didn't really have it like in our focus. We knew about it like everybody else, but really didn't think that it will affect like much. We think it will eventually go away. So then 1 week later, we come home, and 1 week later, I got high fever, and it stayed like this, like for the next 11 days. And during this process, I thought it was a flu. My doctor also thought it was a flu, but yeah, it came out, then I was positive. So this, that accelerated kind of this process of realizing what this thing is and what it can do. Like, yeah, probably one of the most known examples is Boris Johnson, where he had one opinion before Corona and then he got it. And now you see a different story. So yeah, it does something with you when you had it like this close. So, but on the other side, I'm also in a way thankful for this experience, because it, like I said, accelerated a lot of processes that many people now still need to get in their heads.
I feel like you had that experience, when what they say, like psychologically, when you wake up, you do the most difficult things in the morning, so the rest of the day is easier, doesn't it? So I think you got the worst in the beginning, so now you can actually have a little bit advantage on your side. At least, I mean, you can, I guess, do you go out of the house? I mean, you can now, let's say, freely feel to go and without affecting your family. With fear that you're going to get the virus.
Well, right now, no, I don't fear about virus anymore. So I'm kind of a protecting shield of our family. I'm going also for mama and all the others, like shopping and doing all the stuff. But actually, I'm not really going out much and trying to also accommodate with all the other people, and always wearing mask and everything, because I don't want to be like.
Oh, that's great to hear.
Vladi, I want to add something. Yeah. Even when the first event hit us, that it's cancelled, we still didn't take it seriously. We thought, it's just a precaution. I really wanted even to use the flights that I have, me and my wife, to go to Timișoara and just see the city. I was still thinking of traveling, like, I was not really realizing how serious it is. And until Dan was telling us, like, no, don't even think about it. The lockdown is coming. They're going to close the airports. They're going to close. And we were not really realizing the magnitude of this until we said, okay, let's not go and wait what's going to happen. Then we saw it.
Yeah. No, I think we all have similar experiences regarding this. I mean, not getting the corona, but kind of neglecting. But I think the moment I heard about the corona, I think it passed 7 days until it got so serious. And I might just add to the Dado's talk. Dado, if you remember, you just reminded me when, guys, when corona started and it started to get serious, a few organizers, including myself, decided to make organizer support group. It's a private group on the Facebook that we try to share experiences and talk about the best ways how to handle the situation. And one of the topics was handling situation towards our community. What are our responsibilities? What are our tasks? How should we, let's say, approach the cancellations and so on? So we really tried to think about the best ways and to talk about it, what can we offer at this point. Being organizers is sometimes not so much you can do, since let's say artists can offer their dancing to the participants, DJs can offer the music. Organizers have tougher things to do, so still there are many things that we can do. And during that period of talks, Connie and Dado have initiated the idea of let's not talk about the future, let's just talk about the current things, and let's just send the message that we are united for dance and that we should stay home. So if you saw this nice logo that many of us have put online, that was the product of this world, let's say, promoters group that wanted to send a message. Maybe now is not time to dance social anymore, because I remember during the Corona crisis started and festivals closing, many people still did the socials, did not get the whole complete picture of it. So for example, if Italy has had this kind of warning from others, guys, stop now, or this is very serious, or something, a message from United Front, maybe that disaster would be kind of less. So we wanted to kind of react and reach out to part of the community that were still kind of not so much aware of what was happening at all. So we thought that it was best to simply shut down the social dancing and wait for the. And why I mentioned this is because during that period, Dado was already sick. So even sick, he was spending like 1 or 2 hours on the phone with me discussing about these things. And thank you, Dado, for your contribution. I think it was really good. Maybe that was why we got Corona in the first place. So you act.
Like I said, it accelerated lots of processes. I got some kind of, let's call it, inspirational turbo.
Super. Okay, so guys, let's then move forward. And Dmitri, can I ask you a question? It seems to me that you are one of the guys that it's like a cat. They got on his feet very quick, maybe the fastest, and actually did something productively too. You didn't sit down at home, start kind of worrying about the future. It seems that you did something. You acted. So what was it that you do, and can you explain more about the Project COVID Party?
Yes. So basically, that weekend when the SAF festival, Salsa Dictate Festival, got cancelled, we realized that everyone is going to be at home this weekend. So, and I got a lot of messages is like, we miss your music. Can you go on live doing a live set? So I was discussing the night before with a friend of mine from Spain, Chander, DJ Mosquetero, and we were talking about, let's make an idea, like about bringing all the DJs together. But we didn't finish the discussion. We were both busy. So on Sunday, the 15th of March, I make a post on Facebook, like just a small poster. I said, can we create a DJ schedule for all the DJs who wants to go live, doing a live set? I'll go first at 3 p.m. German time. Who's next? And just the amount of DJs were jumping in. Me next. So we had to create a schedule for it. And then Chander jumped in and was like, guys, to locate all the videos in one place, let's use this hashtag COVID Party. And everyone was like, okay. Yes. So apparently at the same time, our friends from the Canada and the US were doing the same. Like they kind of have the same idea. So he said we came together as like, guys, let's do it together as one group. So the beauty of it that we are in different time zones. So it's better it's amazing to manage the DJs because when we are sleeping, they're awake. When they're sleeping, we are awake. So we created this group, and the amount of DJs we're joining is insane. In 3 days, we got 3,000 members. Every day we were getting 1,000 members just joining in to listen to the music. So we organized the schedule, we organized the shifts for the staff, we try to recruit people to help us. So basically we are doing this just to help people to go through this hard time, to entertain them as much as possible, and to also give quality music to people, and also to give opportunity to DJs to let people discover them, and also to educate people about music that they might never heard before. So it's been going on for almost 45 days. Some days we have 24/7 nonstop. On weekends we have like 72 hours continuous. DJs from different parts of the world, just every hour another DJ signing in with his live. We posted on the group. A lot of viewers are watching. So basically we have around 277 DJs participated from all over the world.
No, that's really great, and that's really nice to hear. I mean, what it seems to me, it's a spontaneous group initiative that shows a great DJ spirit. Now, let's not DJ spirit, but also a really good community support from DJs, because they don't look each other now as competitors as much as they want to participate and join. And also you can see that community really appreciates what you're doing. So it gives really a good hope. And I think at this point it is one of if not the biggest online platform for the salsa fans internationally.
After almost 30 days of the COVID party, we wanted, like, before the end of the 30 days, we wanted to do something, one of the weekends, an online salsa congress, the COVID online salsa congress. So we selected the DJs who got the best viewers, the best sound quality. So we shortlisted like 24 DJs from who performed with us, and they excelled. And we contacted some artists to put them in a compact schedule of 2 days, Saturday, Sunday. And it was a big success, actually. There's like, at some point we had more than 1,000 people live viewing between the workshop and the DJ set at some point.
Those are great numbers. But can I ask you, can you now tell me, this is really great. I mean, the numbers and what you're doing is great. Can you now tell me about how you feel about this happening to you? Because as I see it, it was not an idea which was thought of, which was planned, which was executed by the plan. It was something that
very spontaneous. Very spontaneous. Because,
and it grew. Yeah. So how does it, with a distance of 30 days now, how does this all feels like to you? And do you think it becomes something more than just an idea of spreading the good music? So can you tell us your personal thoughts about it?
To be honest, we are doing it just to purely non-profit. We are not looking to make money out of it. Of course, it's taking a lot of time. Everybody is drained who's working on it. Like the guys, we are 5 admins: DJ Hong, DJ Ricardo, DJ Salsa Jim, and me and Chander. And we have now 7 moderators: Shams, Rob, Suave, Thomas, Guri, Norman. I don't want to forget anyone. Angel, one more. Anyways, the team are working 24/7. We are putting so much time and energy into it, and we are not benefiting out of it. Are we gonna do it to start benefiting from it? I don't think so. We're just gonna keep it as a passion, to promote DJs, to give music to people for as long as it's possible. What's the future of this? I think it's gonna continue even when everything opens up. I think it's gonna be more successful in the weekends. Whoever is at home, they're gonna play their sets, and we're gonna entertain people.
So one direct question. So do you think that this then, how would you say, did then Corona situation helped you or the other moderators create something, and basically now you are you took something that was you find opportunity in the times of crisis, let's say like this. Did you think
the thing is, it's a good promotion tool. Like whoever plays, even no one knows the DJ, he got a minimum base of viewers, so it's like an audition. So it's a very good promotion tool. We get a lot of messages. People wants to donate, so we are not accepting that yet. But maybe later on we can tell the DJs or the artists If you want to put your PayPal link as if anyone wants to contribute to their show, I think it's a free, it's their life, so we cannot say no to that. But so far as us, COVID Party, we are not trying to make money out of it. So what I think it's benefiting people, it's just like, it's more as a promotional tool, educational group to educate about music, about exposing DJs from all over the world, and to entertain.
No, I feel you guys are doing the great job. Obviously, because you have a lot of fans, you have a lot of feedbacks on the streams, and I think the DJs are now getting most deserved respect. And I think that's really one of the best benefits of this initiative. Of course, there will be much more, I'm sure. So Dado, I mean, we can speak like this for 1 hour, so let's have involved our second guest because he has a lot to share. Dado, I don't know almost where to start, but let's start with just concentrate on the Corona crisis and the topic opportunity or crisis. So Corona happened to you. It happened to you, not just a side thing like you need to stay home. It happened to you.
Many levels, yeah.
Yeah. So after you. So during the Corona, you had Corona, and your family need to take care of you. Connie was great help, of course, supporting these times, and her parents. So, what did you have time to look at the future? And I know that your mind is running 150 kilometers an hour or miles, or so fast. Did you have time to consider what you're going to do in the future, how it's going to be changed, and what you're going to do about it?
Yes, of course. Like I said already, this process accelerated not only my mind, but also it was like almost like fast forward thinking. It enabled something in not only me, but also in Connie, because not only I had Corona, but I also kind of outed myself, and without much thinking, it was like Dmitri said, a spontaneous decision. At the moment where I got positive test, I said like I need to tell people, because I danced with so many people. I had this responsibility, this feeling, and I need to put that video out, which I did, which kind of exploded, and also exploded in our face in a way that we also wanted to handle with so many people, so many inquiries, so many people talking to us, asking for advice, like impossible advices that not even government can say. And we have been dealing with this on like some like super dimension. I cannot explain in After Effects. So it really did, it worked like a turbo for us, because we were almost like, as we jumped in the future, because all these processes started and then like really going super fast. So Connie and me dealing with this, of course, it made us think much more intensive and faster. And we did, of course, realize much probably faster than the rest, not because we're so smart, but because of the whole, like this turbo effect. And yeah, we realized that right away. We were, I think, one of the first that closed the school in Austria, and realized that this is going to stay, and we need to deal with it in a very serious level, and to see how we can, on one side, keep the school and keep the 50 employees that they're not worried, and also pay for the mortgage and keep this everything like running. And on the other side, what can we do? Because with this, we cannot do right now anything. What are another ways to care for the family and look for another ways of income. And for us, it was the second part. It was kind of easy because we already had our online platform started. Like,
can I interrupt you shortly? So
sure.
Before going to the action part, if I may, if I understood correctly, you didn't have time. You didn't have a luxury of time to stay, let's say, paralyzed. They say that when this crisis happened, there were like people are going through 3 phases, and some, of course, not through all 3, but it was like paralyzed phase where people were very scared about what's going to happen. Then the acceptance phase, where they understand, they try to reach out for more information, they try to educate, and then the growth phase and the action phase. So it seems to me that aside the corona, dealing with corona sickness, let's say, you had a lot of things to worry about, and you didn't have time to stay paralyzed at all, in a sense.
It was, like I said, the other way around. This whole process that hit me, like it hit me in the face. I was like, not only me, but also Connie and everything. Well, I don't have time to be sick right now. I don't have time for having a fever. I have so many things now to deal with. So it was more like restless. I felt at that time.
Can you say that having more responsibilities in life that you had about, not about yourself, but also about the school, the others, actually helped you make those decisions, because you just couldn't allow yourself to stay shut, to stay sick, and just don't worry about things?
Yeah, like I said, I think the best word to describe it is a turbo. It really gives you some like motivation and like leaves you off of any distractions. It's just like go for it.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear. Okay, so sometimes I want to get into the not just what people do, but how they felt doing it and why they do it. Because sometimes when people see the results, results are mostly about can be seen because some previous actions and some previous insight.
Only the top of the mountain.
Yeah, you need to. It's good to know why something has been done. And I try sometimes to get into this a little bit deeply, because I want also that we don't just tell the end, kind of the tip of the iceberg, what happened.
Journey,
yeah. The process of something happening is something that can be sometimes very inspiring, and that's what knowing you guys. Well, I know you more maybe than Dmitri. It's always when we speak, it's like a gold. When I see you, I know where you come from and why you did like this. So it seems really inspiring, and that's what I wanted to now go to your next thing that's actually is saving you now. You're thinking about the future. Your projection many years ahead is now actually enabling you to live in a certain peace of mind. So can you explain or tell a story to our listeners about what you're going to do now with your projects?
Yeah, we had this side. It was more like a side gig. It was our online dance learning platform. We started to work on like 5 years ago, but it was more like a passion project for me, because I was always very passionate about integrating many tools, not only one tool for one goal, but many tools. Like in a dancing, what are the tools we can support our students in the classes to get them like faster, better to their end goal. And this online learning was like, for me, and in that time, like the tool next to live teaching, but like not, it was always next to live teaching. My passion was to integrate the online learning experience and possibilities with the live learning experience, which you cannot exchange these two. They're like just two separate things.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And,
I agree.
It was like building up, and in the last 2 years we like really launched it, and right now we have like around 700 active members, and it grew like all the time because I as in this process of building it, I saw the opportunities, I saw the benefits for our students, and also for some students that are not able to take live classes with us because they live somewhere else. And through this process, I started even to trust and believe more that this has some like future for like many of us, also for us, for our school, for the students, and so on. And obviously this side gig became right now the main gig, the only
the only gig.
the gig.
The only gig. Yeah.
And yes, we are using this extra time right now because we don't teach, we don't do a side of organization and trying to save the school and trying to go all the bureaucracy paths and to get some help and try to, of course, keep it alive. All the rest of the time we're concentrating on the academy because it has 7 different dance styles: ballroom, Lindy Hop, West Coast swing. Each one of them is actually kind of a full-time job, and we have 7 of them, and we want to do more. So right now, this time I have resources to concentrate fully on that, and this is also like the day cannot be long enough for me, for both of us to work on that. So it's also kind of exciting, and it distracts me of everything else that we see right now in the reality.
No, that's really great to hear. As I said, I know Dado for many years, and maybe this would seem a little bit promoting himself, but what I want to actually emphasize in this talk with Dado, and maybe one of the things that listeners can get out of it is Dado has been not only dancing these last 15 years, he has promoted himself and educated himself to a great businessman, and he got along the way a lot of skills that maybe not connected would be just he learned photography by himself, he learned videography by himself, social media marketing, all these things that take time and effort. You cannot learn this over 1 month. You just need to be what I like with Dado is he was passionate about it, and now in the times of crisis, a lot of these small things connected. Well, actually, before the crisis, he started to work on his passion small gig project that now nobody knew is actually going to basically skyrocket with the corona crisis emerging. And I cannot say, but you can only thank yourself about your success. And it's so inspiring to know that anybody, I mean, I knew you went to Austria during the war in Croatia, after. So basically without anything, it's kind of a very nice success story with a lot of passion and persistence.
But now I need to cut you. Everything.
No, just to finish. So
I don't deserve, but all this, everything what you said is like when you say Dado, it's always Connie and Dado, because without her, this everything would be just like
Look, that's completely true, and also I might say the SEASUNSALSA brand is not only Vladimir. I might be sometimes in the front, although I'm not the most extrovert person that likes, but I have a passion for this, and the podcast is one of the ways how to even let's say communicate this passion in other way. So just to wrap this up, Dado has online salsa academy that has started like few years ago out of his hobby to support his business for the school, and now it's basically skyrocketing because as every other online salsa classes, which will be also the topic in our future podcast, is basically the only way how we can learn salsa
right now.
Right at this point. So I will now get back to some of the questions, and I think now we have a really good view about the personal journey through this Corona crisis. I would love to use the next maybe last 10 minutes to wrap this up and try to go to reach out and to see your thoughts about the community, the Corona crisis having effect on our community, and can we maybe send some messages, or what are our thoughts about some things? So maybe Dmitri, if you can share some information about how do you see Corona crisis has affected our community, and maybe offer some insights, where is this going to go?
What I've seen is that with this crisis, people got so much free time on their hands. They're at home. They're
thinking about people with kids or people without kids.
Yes. Even with
the
kids,
community is big.
people
time. Let's not say free time.
I think this free time, or this opportunity to stay at home with your family or with the people you love, it won't come again in a long time. So I think I say to take advantage of every moment, try to learn something, to do something new, and to hang on. This is gonna get over, and we're gonna go back to our normal lives. Just want to share something. What I've seen through my experience with the COVID party, I've seen a lot of people coming together as a unity, as a one community of salsa lovers, for example. I've seen so much sharing and love, and people are connecting together through this live streams of salsa music. So what I've seen is a lot of support and sharing and passion, and people are really supporting and encouraging each other to hang on and to stay strong in these difficult times. So I say to stay strong, work on yourself, learn something new, try to work out at home, learn how to dance, learn new language, which I should have be doing now, to learn German, which I'm very slow at it. But what I've seen is I've seen something positive more than I've seen something negative. Of course, people are affected with their jobs, with their businesses, but I think you should think and try to find a work around it, and things will get back to normal soon.
That's a good message. Can you also, in short, tell me what do you think about the biggest losers and the biggest winners in our community and industry in this crisis?
I think a biggest loser could be the biggest winner at the same time. So someone who lost his job, who lost his business, could gain a lot by connecting with his family, with his loved ones, learn something new, will lose weight, exercise. I think everybody lost something, and everybody is winning something from this. So who's the biggest losers? I'm not sure. Like, I lost a lot of work, but I'm really not focusing on this negatively. I'm trying to focus on the things that I'm doing, even if I'm not gaining money from it. I'm trying to survive and gain how you say it. I'm getting I'm getting happy from this. Maybe not benefiting financially, but I'm really gaining a lot of contacts, a lot of support, a lot of education, a lot of so I think I'm winning.
So basically,
at the same time I'm losing.
So basically, your glass is half full, not half empty.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, Dado, can you maybe answer also the same question.
Yeah, I would like do like I would say everything like Dmitri said, and so I don't want to repeat what he said. I'm completely with him that at the same time we in worse situations we get most opportunities, but yeah, so he said it already. But I think for like the community on that part, how is going to affect it? I think, and also the biggest, I would say, loser, to put it in your words, are I think international festivals right now, because this is like getting like the worst of what every government is saying we should not do. This is like this is summoning up in international social dance festival. And also most of the time people that are organizing it are like not doing it professionally like you do. And so this is I think this is the toughest part, that we just need to deal with it, the international social dancing events. And how the community in general is being affected, I think that it will in this time that we're like finding the way out, it will be much more locally oriented, of course, like we also talked yesterday with Dmitri. And I see much more integration, like support integration of online of the technology, like also Dmitri is doing. That tells me that there is a need for this like fix to get the music, dance in any possible shape or form. And then when we like are coming out of this, this is more like wishful thinking, but I hope that this like technology that we're like really faced with, many of us are doing like Zooms and everything that we didn't do like 2 months ago. Everybody is faced with it, and they also see the possibilities in it. And hopefully this will also help the community to get back to the like natural roots that we so love and like travel for. So I hope that these two tools are going to merge and to create something like much bigger than we had. And I also hope that the like our sense of hygiene and how we handle with everything on the social dance floor is also going to get better.
I like that one.
Yeah,
I think many people like that one.
Yeah. So the stinky and sweaty and all these people that didn't take care of themselves and still got the dances. I think we're gonna be a little bit more critical in the future.
Okay, I see your glass is also a big glass. Is also almost full.
Pouring. Yeah.
So guys, I will have one more question for you, and while you talk, we can also have some questions from the audience. I wasn't sure if we will have some time, but if you guys want to ask Dado or Dmitri anything, want to get their opinions on something, feel free to ask in the chat. I will read it if it's not too crazy question, and then we'll wrap this up episode of the first podcast that we did. So one question more, which you almost answered, but try to be very precise, not precise, but try to be concise about it. So we went over it. You remember in the test? I hope you have this one. Yeah. If tomorrow you wake up in 2021, it's June, and what do you think the landscape of our social dance community will look like? So when I think about landscape, it means social dance parties, it means festivals, it means classes, it means anything else that is part of that makes our community as it is today. Dmitri, you have the first word.
Yes. I think
1st of June 2021. 1st of June 2021.
I think events will take place. I don't think it will be as big as what it was before.
No, Dmitri, you need to say, I'm packing for CSSF.
Of course. No. I think Croatia will take place, but I'm not sure how many people will be confident to go to a big event. I see people will be more confident to attend smaller events, marathons, small festivals, but maybe the people will still have fear to attend big events. In my opinion, I think this is gonna be there, that fear. I think there was gonna be also online festivals, workshops, DJs playing online. I think we're gonna see that in the future, because in this crisis, people are pushed to do things online, and I think many people are investing in it, and many people are paying to do a workshop online or listen to special DJ set online. I think this also will happen in the next year.
What about the local parties or social dance?
Yes, the small parties I think will happen, but I'm not sure about big events with like thousands of people. I think it will happen, but it will not be as big because people will still have that fear to go to big events.
Okay, Dado, can you give us your thoughts about it?
Yeah, I'm completely with Dmitri on it, and to like expand on it in two ways. I see here also the opportunity for the local parties to arise, and that they get more, I would say, respect, and the local organizers that I saw a little bit like going away because of the festivals. I saw a lot of like intermediate advanced dancers not going to the local parties, not supporting their local communities, but like a little bit snobbing around. I'm only going on a festival, which is obviously also not really something I would like to see. I would like to see both becoming the love and respect, like local and international, and working off of each other and supporting each other. And what you said about online congresses, I see it even like because yes, the extreme case is like competing the online congress with the live congress. But what I saw also happening in different industries is the same thing. Like you have, for example, Croatian Salsa Festival or Sensual, and filming the actual live congress and broadcasting it online. This is what I said, like this integration, merging of the new opportunities, and also giving the organizers the opportunity to scale this thing, what they are like kind of losing by having not so many people as they are used to, but still on the other side, like I would say winning by integrating these technologies. But this is something to wait and see what people and organizers and all of us do out of it.
Well, I can't agree more with you, Dado. It's I might share the same thoughts about it. As organizer, I can feel that things, if some miracle doesn't happen, will not be the same again very soon time. And organizers will every party in our community will need to adjust in a way. Maybe for organizers that would mean to scale down their event to the point where the event is financially viable, but at the same time trying to get their presence online with certain content. I feel that the very good part, the best part of this Corona crisis that I like the most is now you can see very creative content being created. Actually, people are now discovering their talents, which were kind of dormant because they didn't need them. You know, they now go out of the box and they try to see what they can do, because the previous things they can do now, they cannot do it, or they cannot do it in the same way. You know, for organizer, obviously we cannot do the live events now. So the online salsa event may be a future that will be parallel to the normal events. Artists cannot perform with the audience, so now they went online. People are doing, I like very much Moflex Initiative and Julian and the other guys, what they're doing in the UK, they're doing the late night show already for 40 something days. It's I think every night or every second night a platform that they have a late night show where they invite a lot of people, 1 or 2, 3 minutes, they involve the whole community, they entertain people for 1 or 2 hours. So nothing of these things, COVID party, for example, nothing of this has been done prior to the Corona crisis. So I'm liking that finally some quality content is being produced other than memes, which are also good, of course, but some really creative content. So that's how I see this crisis is bringing out of the people, hopefully all the best. And when we get out of it, we are going to be kind of richer for one really bit dark, but maybe fruitful episode of our life. And as a parent, also I can both vouch that it's tough to be creative. It's tough to produce something. So some of us, the people are in different situations. I would not say this is the time for growth for everybody, because it would mean it would be putting too much pressure on people who simply don't have any don't have same situation, let's say, at home as some other people. So, but still, I don't think anybody should be feeling bad about this situation. You know, you do what you can do, and you do it what you can do it with. So that's how I see things. Corona crisis will, in my opinion, change the landscape of our dance community for the better, and we will be in a way different, but I hope richer than before. So any last words, Dado, that you want to say?
No, out of my experience, life experience, all the very best things in my life came after very, very some tough situations in my life. Like when I met Connie, it was after a not so happy or not so funny time in my life. Also dance school situations, Finn coming out of after my son, or our son coming after some difficult times in our life. So this is something to something we live also after that. Either we win or we learn. So this is a good learning time. And I hope through this time that we're acknowledging much more some old school natural processes that we kind of forgot in this fast pace living and always going for shortcuts or some workarounds, that we're going to acknowledge and respect them more and come back to some really good, valid roots and principles.
Thank you, Dado. Thank you very much. This is really a nice thought. Dmitri, your last thought for this podcast?
Yes, I would say to everybody, stay positive and take advantage of the situation. Always try to benefit from it, and you will find out that there's a lot of great things you can still do in this time. And you will find your break, your chance.
Thank you, Dmitri, for joining to this episode. It was both pleasure. It was pleasure to have you both on this podcast. We have one question, which is a bit the future of the salsa event by Thomas. Thomas, I would love to answer this, but the next full episode will be about this question: the future of the social dance events, where we will have dance organizers, social dance organizers from all parts of the world, and we will be discussing this theme in 7 days. So I would not like to be now talk about this, but it's a great questions to open the next topic for the next episode. Once again, thank you all guys for joining. Dado, Dmitri, it was such a pleasure having you here to support this first podcast, and in future you'll be invited guest again for sure. And with that, I leave you, dear guests. Thank you very much for joining, and thank you very much for supporting.
Thank you. Stay safe.
Yes, all best to all the others, and stay safe. Bye.
Bye.